Yo, what is going on, guys? On today's episode, modern women are regretting feminism. Apparently, it has made them miserable now. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's get right into it.
Can men just not exist?
No, that would actually be the end of the species. It would actually be rather refreshing, though, to see some women out there that aren't offended by everything male.
They literally ruin everything. I'm so sick of them. I'm sick of going out into society and you guys are there.
Well, here's an idea. Stay home.
It gets to a point, I'm so sick of seeing them. Everywhere I turn, there's a man. Oh my god, you guys ruin every freaking experience.
Yeah, they already complained about that already. I wonder, however, if there's a point that they're going to be getting to.
It's to the point where I don't even want to go anywhere. It's I just go to work and go home because it's everywhere I go, you are going to be there. Men, I'm so sick of it. You guys ruin every experience. I just can't. I'm so tired. Everywhere I go, it's just annoying. You guys don't know boundaries. You guys don't know how to stay in your lane. Always interjecting yourself. Always speaking too much. Can y'all just not talk?
Well, instead of complaining about it constantly, why doesn't someone do something about it? Create an all-female community where all of you that feel the same way can go live together, support each other, and try to find something else to complain about.
Wanting every man to vanish gets called a boundary now instead of a tantrum. Nobody is stopping these women from moving somewhere with no men and leaving everyone in peace, but of course they would rather make TikTok videos.
What privileges have been afforded to women? Is it a privilege to go work all day under fluorescent lights, do a grind that wrecks their hormones and wrecks their whole bodies and leaves them feeling miserable, angry, and resentful at the end of the day? Is that a privilege? What else is a privilege? Tell me what you're talking about when you talk about female privilege that came from feminism. What is it? Because women aren't happier. They're not. Don't believe the stories. Don't believe the lives. Women are not happier doing all those things.
Feminism handed women the office grind that they demanded, and men have always said that this is going to not pan out the way that women hoped it would. And of course, we are in that exact same situation now.
Feminism is so destructive, not just for women, but also for men. It's teaching men that if your wife isn't happy, then it's your job as a man to make her happy. Happy wife, happy life. We've all heard that before. That's why I want you to throw happy wife, happy life out the window. Most people's relationships are being run on a woman's feelings, and a feminist marriage is where the woman has power and control and the man submits to her. And this is incredibly dangerous because when you put your feelings above God and above the truth, then it will always end in chaos.
Happy wife, happy life gets repeated like a law, and it puts one person in charge while the other pays for everything. A man whose only job is keeping her happy has no say in the home that he is holding up. This saying is a complete scam for men.
Would you give up your right to vote if it meant you got drafted into the army?
Yes.
Why is it more socially acceptable for women to hate men than it is for men to hate women?
Because men are the devil. Because men are trash.
If men are more valued in society than women, why would they be the first ones sacrificed in war?
Because they think they're more valued. They're being paid for more for everything, so you put your ass online.
What? Why are the men of today expected to pay for the sins of the men of the past?
Because they still keep making the same mistakes.
So is feminism about revenge?
No, feminism is about our right to be allowed.
I think it's a base level of equality that we're trying to reach over here, and as long as we can get to that, then I think we're chilling, but we got a long way to go. Yeah. Wage gaps and shit. Absolutely whack.
Stupid. Every question thrown at them here is a soft one, and the answers are not difficult, and yet they screw it up every single time. These women have no appreciation for men's sacrifices at all, and this is why men have stopped sacrificing for modern-day women.
I can go online and say, I hate all men. We should kill all men. I don't like men. And women would be, yay, kill all men. If a man did that, if he went online and said, I hate women and I'll kill all women, misogynist, canceled. You can't say that. That's terrible. So there's not a balance there.
A woman posting that all men should pass gets applause, and a man saying it about women gets a career ending. That gap is not subtle, and she names it here. Men have pointed at it for years, and mostly got told that it doesn't exist.
I think the post-Me Too movement has made men not chase as much.
You think?
I think it's made them not try several times. I think that's the biggest.
Okay.
So, if you're playing hard to get, you're actually not really going to be getting that much.
Yeah.
In terms of some people have this idea oh, you shouldn't accept like a date right away.
Mm.
And I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, cause I think men have learned just like, oh, okay, if I ask once and she gives me the vibe she's not interested,
No
I'm not
means
gonna
no.
keep bothering her.
Mm.
That's the number one thing I've heard from all my male friends about.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's no more of this playing hard to get. You reject
Yeah.
a man, they've learned, oh, I need to respect that, because if I don't, now I'm crossing over into Me Too territory.
I also think that if you are super hard to get, the only guys who will pursue you like that are kind of the guys who are in it for the game.
Yeah.
And that's not the energy that you want to end up with. And so being too hard to get or aloof is just like, I don't think that's the move when it comes to intentional dating.
Men now ask once and walk the moment they hear no, and these two admit exactly why. Men were told that pursuing past a first no makes them a predator, so they stopped pushing altogether.
Men have always died to protect and build civilization. The difference is in the past, they used to get thank you and an appreciation, and now they don't. Because feminism has convinced women that our jobs are equally as important to men's, and they're not.
Yeah, and the only reason society exists is because it is built on the backs of the unpaid and unrecognized labor of women. Sure, men have died in war, men have died in dangerous jobs, and I would argue that if women were in charge, we would have less war and we would have less death, but that's a whole...
True. Women have waged more war in the last 500 years when they were rulers.
Yeah, and you also have to look at who they had as their representatives and for their counsel, because this has been like highly studied that it wasn't necessarily their individual choice. A lot of it was like pressure from their
Whenever
committees.
women make a bad decision, women have the privilege of blaming it on someone else, where men have to take the fall.
That's an interesting perspective. I disagree.
One side points at all men who passed building and defending the place. The other says women would have run it better. Not only is that just objectively untrue, it is also absolutely disgusting that the woman over there does not actually understand men's sacrifices at all. Again, this is why men stop building, protecting, and providing for women, because there is simply no gratitude. And honestly, I think we all understand that absolutely not. They could not do it better.
In the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's the third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks, because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationship.
The men told her straight why they will not risk it, and it is not shyness. One accusation can torch a career or a life, so they keep their hands to themselves. She notices the cost and does not blame the men for it.
Did anyone else notice how toxic it is to work in an all-female workplace? Like, I started my new job, and I was so happy, because I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be all girls. During my training, my manager asked me a question, and I forgot the answer, and she was like, you decided not to remember that? Like, you chose not to remember that? Oh my god. Every time one of the girls clock off, all the other girls are talking crap about her. And then they think I'm weird, because I won't talk to anyone. Like, I go there to work, and I will not talk to anyone. Because, like, they hate each other. And the worst part is that they pretend to be best friends.
This idea that like women, by virtue of being women, are like so wonderful to be around and make such great nurturing bosses, and it's such a pile of freaking horse. Take it from somebody who lived it. This girl's telling you the truth. I love highlighting women who tell you the truth.
Two women agree on the thing a man gets punished for saying. The all-female office that she describes was full of fake friends running each other down. The idea that women automatically make warmer bosses is a complete myth. Any dude who has worked in a female-dominated environment can tell you that easily. In fact, other women will even tell you that.
I think feminism ruined society. I think that's what really drove us apart entirely. But I think men being the providers, being the heads of household, should lead women towards goodness. And that doesn't mean that you should lead women that clearly have no potential towards it. Like if a woman is like there's no leading her towards goodness, drop that and let them die out. But the women that clearly have some kind of potential in them, you should be the leader. You should be the teacher. Repeal the 19th around it so that they can't like influence the shitty stuff anymore, and Yeah, lead them into it.
Do you still agree?
I don't agree with repealing the 19th, but I do agree with men leading, and I'm being led by a wonderful man.
Why not repeal the 19th?
Because I believe I have a good enough equal voice.
Yeah, but
middle-aged,
young, educated, young college-educated women are the only people holding up the Democrat Party right now. We need to stop.
I find it interesting in clips like this, guys, that, modern day women, they want to be led, they want the man to provide and protect, but of course they still want the ability to lead and vote and all of these sorts of things, right? Like they don't want to actually submit to the opinions of a man, for example, and allow him to actually lead a household. They always have to get their say. And by the way, if you are going to insist that men lead you, do not be surprised when men don't want to lead people who don't actually want to be led.
How much of a misandrist are you?
Let's hear it.
If someone comes home talking about his girlfriend or wife slapped him, I'm gonna ask him what he did wrong.
So it's the victim's fault that they got assaulted? What does that sound like? Oh, wait, that sounds like women getting blamed for being assaulted because they're wearing certain types of clothing or out at certain times of night. Huh.
I know we're not crazy. We're driven there.
But the person who did the assaulting was driven to their actions by the actions of the victim. Okay.
Who's gonna be on her side? What buttons do you push, man?
Asking a beaten man what he did to deserve it is the exact logic that women rightly refuse when it points at them. Here she gets it read straight back to her own face. A man in that spot gets asked which buttons he pushed instead of getting believed. It's interesting, guys, how when it's on the other foot, the women do not care about men whatsoever.
Modern day feminism is so stupid to me because most of you aren't even feminists. You're literally just annoying, broke, and projecting. Feminism used to be, can we have rights? Can we vote? Can we please go to work without being treated like a piece of furniture? And now it's, I shouldn't have to lift a finger, I shouldn't have to pay a bill, cook, clean, be nice, or even have any self-awareness. Girl, that's not feminism, that's princess cosplay. I'll seriously see a video where a woman's like, I deserve a man who just provides everything. What are you providing, shawty? Vibes? An attitude? A half-eaten Starbucks cake pop? My favorite part, though, is where they're like, oh, I want a traditional man. Okay, well, back in the day, traditional men, guess what they had? Traditional women. You can't be like, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't respect, I don't listen, and I don't compromise.
Let's be honest, you can try and slice up feminism whichever way you like, but at the end of the day, no version of it actually makes any sense at all. It's a complete contradiction. This woman is correct, though. Modern day feminists want to be provided for and protected for while doing nothing traditional themselves at all to actually earn it from a man.
But you need to wake up at 4 a.m. and slay dragons for me. Girl, be for real. That man is not your knight. You don't even assemble your own Taco Bell order. We can't forget about my favorite crowd, the men are trash crowd, because how can you say with a straight face, I don't need a man for anything, but then turn around and every single video you make is about men? Okay, if you don't need a man, then why is it your whole entire personality? Yeah. Shawty, go crochet something, go touch grass, do a Sudoku for all I care. And then you have the fake trad wife TikTok girls where they're like, oh, I just love staying at home and being feminine. Yeah, that's adorable until you start bullying women who do have jobs. Like, if you have a job, you failed as a woman. No, girl, she likes electricity. The goal is not women above men. It's let's all be adults.
This is something I see a lot, which is something this woman mentioned here. All of these fake tradwife accounts and things like this, like women insisting that they are traditional, when I think we all already know that they absolutely are not. Traditional women are not really posting TikTok videos talking about how they are traditional or how they have the quote-unquote correct opinions now, which are really just opinions that they heard from a man and they're hoping to actually get an audience from repeating.
Women are statistically less happy than we've ever been, and it's because feminism sold us a lie on what happiness looks like. If you look at a lot of these studies, there is a sharp decline in female satisfaction and life and happiness right around the 1970s, and it's just been getting worse and worse. It's interesting because feminism was supposed to make women happier, right? Going to work was supposed to make us more liberated. Being able to freely sleep around was supposed to bring us like so much fulfillment and peace, but we're finding the opposite to be true. Go around and ask any woman if she's overwhelmed or not. Like 99% of us are. There is so much that we are expected to do and be in this modern age. It used to be that our main priority was our family and our home. To bear children, raise them, love them, nurture them. That was kind of where our focus was supposed to be. But a lot of the feminists didn't like that, right? That's degrading.
Female happiness has been sliding heavily since the 70s, and the data just sat there getting ignored. Work and casual bedroom fun got sold to women as liberation and delivered the exact opposite, but of course they just completely swallowed it anyway. They are happy to do it.
So we got to actually be like men. So this pressure to work and to go get a 9 to 5 and to bring in an income, that became a big part of the equation. That became a huge part of the economy. The point where now you can't really have a single income home. It's like both people need to be working. But that didn't take away women's drive and desire to have children and raise them. So now women have the responsibilities of both women and men. We are expected to have children, raise them. We are expected to also have a career, build it, bring in money, be boss babes. And we're expected to look good and stay skinny and do all of that, even more so with the pressure of social media and everything we see on it. It's insane. There is so much that is expected of us, and we kind of brought this upon ourselves. And we still think that the answer to our problems is more feminism. Isn't. It has only brought us misery, let's be honest.
Two incomes stopped being a choice and became the floor, and the single income home priced itself out. This is exactly what women asked for, by the way. They wanted to be workers, they wanted to provide for themselves and be strong and independent. Well, now they are independent of men, and they are absolutely screwed.
Women were more satisfied in life in 1897 when we were apparently not allowed to do anything. Susan B. Anthony, who we all know from the brief and fake history we were given on women's suffrage in our history classes, she had a speech in 1897 called The Status of Woman, Past, Present, and Future. And she says this in this small paragraph from her speech. She says, "But the petitioners of suffrage are in the minority. There are many reasons for this, and one of them, paradoxical as it may seem, is because so much has already been gained. Women in general now finds her needs very well supplied. If she wants to work, she has all occupations to choose from. If she desires an education, the schools and colleges are freely open to her. If she wishes to address the public by pen or by voice, the people hear her gladly. The laws have been largely modified in her favor, and where they might press, they are seldom enforced. She may accumulate and control property. She may set up her own domestic establishment and come and go at will." All of this proves that in 1897, we basically had everything, and women were happier then as well.
She reads Anthony's own words from 1897, not some modern hot take. Anthony says women already had work, property, and the freedom to come and go. That is not the version they teach in school, is it?
Why are so many women proud to be misandrists? That's not exactly a desired personality trait. After all, misandrists are nothing more than bigots.
What's there to like about men? Men as a whole are not likable. There's nothing to like about them. It's not every man, but it's always a man.
We could say the same thing about women, especially if we use the same criteria that some women use to judge all men based on the horrible actions of a few. But then again, most educated people know better than to do that.
And if y'all like men so much, let a man be responsible for taking care of your grandma. Leave your children with a male babysitter. Let your children go over to a man's house for a sleepover.
That subject has actually already been addressed. I did a video on that, and most intelligent individuals have no problem at all with men watching their children. But I think they thought they made some kind of point there.
So this woman announces there is nothing at all to like about men and wears this diagnosis proudly. I always laugh when I hear crap like this, guys, because these women would not actually survive without men, but they think they're so strong and independent and they don't need anything from a man, when in reality, the only reason they can even live a normal life is because a man actually supports it for them. Everything these women have was built by men, and yet they make stupid statements like this one.
Who is responsible for a majority of mass murders?
Well, that would be the mentally unwell.
Men. Who is responsible for rape? Men.
Oh dear. I really hope they didn't mean to insinuate that women don't commit that particular horrible act, because there are lots of women out there that not only grape men, but also other women. But they don't like to talk about that.
9 times out of 10, most of the bad things that we encounter are at the hands of men.
I wonder if we started using generalizations against groups of people based off their skin color. Would that be okay too?
Now y'all remind me again why we should be liking men.
Well, I think the biggest and most obvious reason is that they are, in fact, fellow human beings. Contrary to what some women would like to put out there, they are people as well, and deserving of basic human respect, as well as, I might add, being given the benefit of the doubt.
A run of horrible statistics gets, of course, aimed at men, but of course these women never actually understand the things that women do, or at least they never actually mention them whatsoever. Every single clip is just men bad, and that's pretty much it, isn't it?
I'm sorry to all the feminists for what I'm about to say, but I unfortunately do want a man to boss me around.
I want a man to tell me what to do. I want a man to tell me to shut up and stay put. Listen, I have more masculine energy than half these men out here nowadays. Okay, I boss people around all day. The last thing I want to do is lead in our relationship. No, thank you. No, thank you. And listen, girls, the way you know if a man is really a masculine at his core is the way you receive his energy. You can't fake energy. If a man gives you an order and you immediately reject it with like, who the hell do you think you are? You probably have more masculine energy than he does. He's just being toxic. But when a man is really leading and he's a real masculine man, you'll feel protected. You'll want to be led and you'll feel like a little girl. You'll be like, yes, daddy. You'll accept it. So you can't fake this, okay? Don't try to fake it. But yeah, unfortunately, I do need to be told to shut up.
Here's the thing that these women don't actually understand. They might think that they are taking the side of men when they make videos like this, but it's actually fairly insulting. This is the woman who spends all day being in charge, being strong and independent, and then wants a man to lead her. Like, absolutely not, guys. It's really not appealing to men. And at the end of the day, these women only want to be led because life is difficult for them, not because they actually respect or care about men or have anything to offer in return, typically.
Women in 2026 are walking away from the feminist movement because of how contradictory it has become. It's clear that modern feminists seem to hate men, but they also love masculinity. They'll tell you men are toxic, but then they'll turn around and praise women for acting like the worst types of men. If you're loud and aggressive and like selfish, if you sleep around and you're emotionally detached from people, that's bad if you are a man. But if you're a woman, like that's empowering. That's like slay queen. If those traits are really bad in men, why are we encouraging women to adopt them? And on the flip side, what happens to women who are more feminine? The ones who are more nurturing and soft and devoted to their children and their family, like the way women have been since the dawn of time. Those women, they're weak. They are brainwashed. They are oppressed.
The funny thing about clips like this, guys, is yes, women are walking away from feminism, but it's not actually because they respect or care about men. It's because they realize that they got completely scammed, right? They realize that they now have to work and men will not actually provide for them. And now they're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want the feminism anymore. But it's not really how that works.
They are just victims of the patriarchy. Why? Because they don't act like men. Being harsh and reckless and self-centered is bad unless a woman does it. And being gentle and loving and family-oriented is good only when a man does it. But when a woman does it, it's bad. That's not empowerment. That's not leading women to be happier. Real empowerment would be valuing women for what we naturally bring to the table. Not telling us that the only way to be respected and empowered is to mimic the very traits we claim to hate in men. It's just starting to feel less like feminism and less like about femininity and about women and more just like a rebrand of masculinity.
This is something else that's pretty true of feminism. It encouraged women to be incredibly masculine. And the idea here is that, well, you can do everything a man can do, but at the end of the day, men are not going to date masculine women. This is why so many of them are single and struggling to get commitment from a man, is because it is deeply repulsive.
On some level, I do think that all men are somewhat narcissist, just because of the way that they've been trained to look at women, treat women, expect things from women. I don't blame men for this. I think it's just relevant to be aware of it as a woman. It's relevant to know how women are viewed in the eyes of men, and they're viewed as objects, trophies, something to be obtained, that we're the prize, that we need to be this like perfect Barbie doll that is there just to please the man. And again, I'm not saying that men are at fault for this, because it's just how the male culture has been raised. And this goes on for like way longer than just a couple hundred years. Men oftentimes are like predatory. They're hunters. It's like women are something to win and then hold up like, look what I have, you know, but women are humans. Like, it's very inhumane the way that a lot of men view women, and it makes women not want to date men. Like, I don't want to be hunted. Thank you. Not today, at least.
Trying to call every man a narcissist and then adding that it is not their fault does not take the sting out here, okay? Men are still going to hear the insult and they are going to walk away from you. I love how women try and play these word games like they're being nice and crap like this, but at the end of the day, there is a reason why these women are single. There is a reason why nobody wants to date them. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.